and welcome back to my channel. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. So in my first video I showed you my 2020 bullet journal spread for my first year of publishing and all of the trackers and spreads that I have to help me organize my debut year basically. I wanted to share with you some funny things. I've been bullet journaling for 3 years, so 2017, 2018, and then 2019. I wanted to show you some of my biggest bullet journal fails. As you can see, for the first 3 years of bullet journaling, I used the same dot grid notebook. I think it's got 130 pages and it's from the dotgrid.com. It's a really standard notebook. It's fine, but as you can see, they do tend to... This is really heavy use though. I'm not kind to my notebooks. With some stickers that I got probably on Redbubble. It's been a while, so I don't quite remember. So this is the very first year that I was bullet journaling, so this was in 2017, and as you can see, it's not super inspiring. It looks kind of messy. I was trying to be a bit cutesy and not really putting enough effort in for it to be cutesy habit trackers that I didn't keep up with. And then there's this in the middle of it. I apparently didn't like how this week looked, so I like crinkled it up and like folded it into the corner to have a nicer one on the other page, which, okay, well done me. And I was being really sparse with what I was tracking. It was mostly just like weekly spreads and monthly spreads, but I was pretty sparse with what I was actually tracking. So I actually ended up with lots of unused pages in the back of this journal. So yeah, I still had like monthly spreads, weekly spreads, but I didn't have a lot of goal spreads in the very beginning. I didn't keep up with my book spread, which is kind of ugly as well. I didn't really keep up with, you know, with keeping track of my goals. I mean, I did sort of, like it definitely helped me and I definitely stuck with it throughout the whole year, but I definitely could have been tracking some other stuff that would have helped me a little bit more. So that was in 2017. In 2018, I had the same journal again, as you can see, the dotgrid.com, and I also had some letter stickers here that totally rubbed off throughout the course of the year. So in this one, you can see my big fail is right on the first page. What a way to start a year in a bullet journal. So I didn't quite plan out. I was so excited about these cute stencils that I used up here. I don't even know where these stencils are now. I was so excited about the cute stencils that I didn't really plan out how much space I was going to need, and ended up having to have the month of December this like weird rectangular thing that makes no sense. Like, excellent job, me. And the fact that I just went with it anyway instead of, you know, trying to like cut the page out and start over, maybe that's why 2018 was such a trash fire for me organizationally. So then I had more planners, like sort of things to track this year. As you can see, I didn't actually do a super great job in keeping track of things. I did a bit better with my book spread that year. I think this may have been, no, this was not a stencil, I just drew this. I didn't keep track of a lot of stuff, but I was starting to definitely do more stuff with regards to my other business and trying to keep track of things and be a bit more forward thinking and planning. So like you can see here that I was like, you know, spreading out what needed to get done in a month and thinking forward to plan more things and like having more ideas and writing out those ideas. Like I have a whole page here that just says ideas. And all of this kind of stuff, and like planning out, especially I started planning out launches a bit more. But definitely that first page, wow, well, good job. And you can see that like throughout the year, like I start off like really cutesy and everything's really colorful and color coded, and then I get to like towards like the middle of the year and it's just me scribbling in pencil. Like I'm not having time to keep up with stuff. I'm just, you know, doing my best to just even try and keep on top of things. And what was this? Oh, I don't even know what that was. It's a mess. So yeah, by the end of the year, like the cutesiness is gone for the most part, with the exception of maybe this week, and everything else is kind of just a mess. But then again, I still had a bunch of empty pages in the back of that journal. So here's my 2019 bullet journal. This is obviously the one that just finished a couple of weeks ago. And I ordered my current bullet journal when I wasn't quite to the end of the year. I ordered it in sort of early December so that I could think a little bit about planning and what I wanted to plan and track for 2020. So again, same dot grid notebook from the dotgrid.com. And in this one, I have a few empty pages, but not loads, definitely less than in previous years. I definitely fixed my issue with not planning the year at a glance a bit better, but I did use colored pencils for this, so it is a little bit hard to read. I was better with tracking things throughout the year that I wanted to do, like listening to more new music, reading more books. I don't even think I added some of the books that I finished on here though. I definitely read more than is on here. But I was much better at keeping tabs on it. My personal goals page was kind of boring. And then I did, I really wanted to do one of these really cute year in pixels spreads, but I definitely didn't keep on top of it. There's like huge gaps in here where I didn't do anything, and it's just not something that worked for me. I think if I'm going to be doing a mood tracker, it needs to be weekly, something that's going to be sort of in the pages that I'm in of that week. So that was a big fail, even though the spread like looked kind of cute initially. I mentioned this in my 2020 bullet journal video. This is the really cute spread that I thought was going to be amazing. So this is my like yarn spread. I've got like sort of, you know, like a laundry pole in this line, and I was like, I'm going to draw like a quick little sketch of everything I finish. I finished this, was a shawl in January. I finished this in early February. Obviously I didn't do anything else the rest of the year. I did finish plenty of projects, but I didn't sketch them in here, even though I knew this page was here and I knew I should be keeping up with it. I just couldn't really find the time that I wanted to sit down and sketch out something I'd already made. So this was a spread that did not work for me. I definitely, when it comes to tracking this kind of stuff, need to have something that's a lot faster and not as artistic. So like with this one, I started doing these like plan pages with sort of monthly goals and all this kind of stuff, and I started getting a lot more aggressive with planning out things like for vlogs and planning out podcasts and just planning lots more, which is why I don't have very many pages at the end. But again, like it was a super simple one. Like every weekly spread looks the same, which is kind of how I prefer to operate, which is fine. And I also included, you know, having new recipes, because that was something that I really wanted to do, was I wanted to sort of increase my culinary palette. But I was definitely doing a lot more planning with regards to projects, and by the time I got to the end of the year, I only had maybe 10 pages left. So not huge amounts of fails in this, except the fact that I needed to come up with better ways to track things. Like the mood tracker didn't work for me, and this yarn tracker definitely didn't work for me. So that brings us to this year, and you might be thinking, how do you have a fail already? But as you saw in 2018, I had a fail on the very first page. So I bought this bullet journal from Little Bird Singing on Etsy, and I love it. It's a really super cute book. I bought the, I think, A5 size with 100 pages, because I thought, oh, well, I always have tons of pages at the ends of my bullet journals, which I had, you know, in the past, you know, like 20 or 30 pages. So I was like, well, I don't need the rest of the pages. But because this year I'm planning so many other things, I've got so many other things that I've got in here to plan. You know, I've got like all of the publishing pages, I've got like more projects that I'm tracking. I'm probably going to run out of pages sometime in April or May. So it is a hand-bound book, as you can see here. It is a hand-bound book, as you can see here, so I'm not sure if there's a way for me to add more pages. If not, I'll probably just buy another one of these identical ones and just find a way to sort of keep the covers at the back together. Glue them together or staple them, which again is not the cutest or the prettiest, but I will definitely know to plan a bit more next year and know that I cannot get away with using one of the smaller books. I'm going to have to get lots more pages. Also in this year, I kind of brought this up in my 2020 planning video. I did use watercolors directly onto this paper, even though I was kind of afraid that it would do this. I kind of knew that it would happen, but it's fine, it happened anyway. So as you can see, the page is all wobbly from the watercolors, and even after smushing it between two heavy books, that one page. So I'm gonna have to, I still like the way that I've done this weekly spread, but I'm gonna have to do it with maybe colored pencils or pens or something. I definitely can't do it with watercolors unless I use an actual watercolor page like I've done for the monthly spread and just tape it in. But I don't really want to be doing that for every week, because then I'll just have loads of pages kind of wobbly falling out. Also, I really am waiting for some new washi tape to arrive so that I can thinly tape this into the corner. But I like the idea of doing watercolor stuff for the monthly spreads, and it's making me think that maybe next year I should look at getting a bullet journal that only has watercolor paper in it, though I know I'll probably have to spend quite a bit more. I will drop links into the comments for the bullet journals mentioned in this sort of short little video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I will be back probably next week or the week after with a really big haul video from tons of really cute shops on Etsy that I've ordered from, and I'm eagerly awaiting their arrival. Thanks everyone, and remember, keep reading!